Hello everyone, I hope you are fine and with a good health. The topics for our lecture are define cell, data entry, insert data row and column, arrangement the width and height of row and column, and selecting cell, selecting a group of cell, adjacent and non-adjacent cell, moving the active cell in worksheet, changing the data in a cell, and how to adding a comment to the cell, and finally the copy and move worksheet to the same workbook or to another workbook. Now, we can define here Excel separate sheet, organized information, the information that put in our separate sheet, which will be either text or numbers by row and columns. Here's the row. The rows are representing by number, starting from 1 and ending to the 1 million, and I don't forget, and column letter starting from A to the A, B, C, D, and so on. Here is the row number starting from 1, and here's the column letter starting from A. A cell here, this cell is called B2. The cell is called here the active cell. The active cell, it is what? It is the intersection between column letter and row number. This is the column letter is B. Row number is 2. So the active cell here will be B2. And the name of this cell will appear here in the name box. So the intersection between column letter and row number is called the active cells. How can we write the information in our cell? We can write the information either directly by writing it on the wanted cell, here for example, or here or anywhere, or you can write in the formula bar. First of all, you must select your active cell and write the information here. Will be either text or number or formula. Now we have here our data. Now, if you want to add a new column between these two columns, here you can right-click on this column, and then a menu appear, and then select what do you want. You want to insert a new column, or if you want to delete this column, you can right-click here, and then delete this column. Or if you want to make it increase the width of column, you can drag the column here, and if you make it more closer, you can drag it to this side. And if you want here to add a new row, the same way, right-click here and then insert a new row. Or if you want to delete this row, also you can right-click here and then delete the row. Now, selecting a group of cells. A group of selected cells is called range. So the range is a group of cells. Now, this is range starting from B2 ending with what? C11. This is the range. So a group of selected cells is called range. Now, we have two types of range: adjacent range and non-adjacent range. Adjacent range all cells touch each other. Look here. All cells are touch each other. This cell touch this cell, and this cell touch this cell. So this range is called adjacent range because each cell is touch each other. To select adjacent cell, only click on the cell and then drag to the wanted cell. You can click here, sorry, click here and then drag to the end from this side and go to this side, and you can select an adjacent cell. If you want to select non-adjacent cell, non-adjacent range or non-adjacent cells include what? 2 or more adjacent range and selected cell. For example, a non-adjacent cell range can be contain 2 adjacent range and, for example, 3 different cells. To select non-adjacent range, first of all, you must select the first range, adjacent range, or select the first cell, and then press Ctrl key to select another cell. Still pressing Ctrl T until you finish all the selection you want. So only you must first of all select the first cell, or you must select the first adjacent cells and then press Ctrl key and go to the another cell and click on it, and until you finish. Then you can release the Ctrl key. Now, if you want to change the content of the cell, you can only move your mouse to another. For example, if you want to change the content of this cell, only click here and then change its content. Or if you want to move this cell to another place, only click and drag to another place. Here is a keys for moving the active cell in a worksheet. You can use here a keys in order to move the active cells to another place. For example, if you want to move left one column, left arrow key. To the right side there is an arrow, up arrow, down arrow, left arrow, right arrow. You can see it on your keyboard. If you want to left one column, left arrow key. Right one column, right arrow key. Up one row, up arrow key. Down one row, down arrow key. To the first cell of the row, if you want to go to the first cell of the row, press home key. To cell A1, press Ctrl plus home key. To the last cell of the column, press Ctrl plus End key. Up one window, page up key. Down one window, page down key. Worksheet, how entering data in cell. Worksheet cell can be contain text, number, or formula. What we mean by text, what we mean by number. Text is any combination of letters. Text is any combination of letters. For example, the name of students or the name of employee, or it can be numbers and symbols. For example, you can write مثلا you can write for example Ali 1. It is a combination of letter and number, but it is it is mean a text. a text. If you start writing in the active cell, starting from letter, it is a text. Numbers are either be value or date or time. Formula are equations that calculate a value. All these options will be entered data where in the active cells. Now, if you want to add a comment to the cell, for example, I have this cells. It is, for example, the average of any student. I can write a comment in order to know what the cell is mean. So right click on the cell and then insert a comment, and you can write the comment you want. Now, how you can copy and move a sheet? As you know, this is our sheet. This is our sheet. Now, I have here this sheet, sales order. I want to copy this sheet to another place. Before I want to copy this sheet to another place, you can change the name of this sheet. When you create a new sheet, you can see here sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. As we say before, each workbook contains many sheets. Sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. So you can, for example, in sheet 1 write, for example, the name of the student. In sheet 2 you can write, for example, the degree of the student. Sheet 4 you can write, for example, all information about the student. So you can change the name of the sheet by right-click on a sheet and then rename. So you change the name of your sheet. Here is the sheet is called sales order. Now I have this sheet and I want to copy or move this sheet either to a new workbook or to a new sheet. So right-click on a sheet and then select move or copy. Or you have another way to move or copy your sheet by go to the format from home tab, format, and select move or copy. You have two ways, either using right click on the name of the sheet, or you can go to format and select move or copy. After you select move or copy, dialog box appear. This dialog box appear. Now here the dialog box asks move a selected sheet to which book you want to select. This is the down arrow, and here you can select the workbook you want. And before sheet what? Before this sheet or this sheet or any sheet you want, and then create a copy. Yes, click here, tick here, and then OK. After that, you can copy your sheet. Thank you for your listening.